So today I would like to introduce a custom archetype that I created, MCU Avengers. Firstly, I'll be introducing the cards and then we'll get into the flow of how this deck works. In this video, I will be using Yugioh specific terms in Japanese because I'm not accustomed to English terms. So let's go with the video. At number 1, we have Avengers Captain America. So the archetype, as I mentioned, is Avengers. This archetype is all warrior type, and it doesn't have a specific attribute. In general consensus, the normal peoples are earth type. So Captain America, this card effect is that firstly you can only use once per turn, and by the way, yeah, the effects I've written in Japanese terms as well, so it has like number 1 and number 2 and stuff. I think it's easier to see that way. So number 1, when you normal summon this card, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Avengers monster from your deck onto the field. The turn you activate this effect, you can only special summon warrior type monsters. This is the main card to get you started. It can special summon any level 4 lower Avengers monsters without negating its effect, so it is a really powerful card. Because it's really powerful, I've put some limitations that you can only special summon warrior type monsters. Its stats is ATK is 1-800. It's the baseline for Stratos and stuff, so I just put it as 1-800. This effect is based around how Captain America is the leader of the team, so after Coulson dies, he's the one who got everything started and like assembled the team. Number 2, we have Tony Stark. Is a light monster level 3. Its effect is that you can special summon this card from your hand if you have an Iron Man monster on the field. Its stat is 600 ADK and def is 800. Let's just get into Iron Man because I have to explain Iron Man to explain Tony Stark's effect. Avengers Iron Man is a link monster. For those of you who don't know, you essentially need link monsters to special summon a lot of cards from your extra deck. Every archetype pretty much needs a link monster nowadays, and when I thought, well, who would it be? I thought it would be Iron Man because it's Iron Man. This monster is a generic Link 1 monster. A generic Link 1 monster is really powerful, especially when it's pointing downwards. So it has a limitation of one Tony Stark monster. It can't be an Avengers monster because I thought that's way too powerful. You have to normal summon or special summon Tony Stark in some way and then just instantly turn it to a Link 1 monster. And its effect is that if you link summon this card, you can add 1 Avengers monster from your graveyard. And its second effect is a quick effect where you can select 1 monster on the field and decrease it by 500. The second effect is pretty much a bonus effect. Its main resource is the first effect. Summon Tony Stark, you can just retreat Tony Stark, and with its effect, you can special summon again, which leads you to Link 2 monster. However, there isn't a Link 2 monster as of right now, so there aren't much practical applications of Avengers Iron Man at this stage. He will get a power up though, but that's in phase 2. And this special summoning is an homage to how after Tony Stark falls off from the Avengers building, the Iron Man comes in and fuse, which essentially leads to the next Iron Man, but that will be in phase 2. So as of right now, he isn't that strong. The main application would probably be to go into Link 2 and summon Isolde or something, I guess, but I don't think it's very useful at this moment. We'll go to the next card. Synchro level 7, Avengers, Thor Odinson. This is a light monster. Cards you need is 1 Avengers Tuner monster and anything else. Its effect is a quick effect, which once per turn you can negate all monsters' effect on the field until the end of the turn. So this card is a disturbance card and is pretty much the end board that you want in your first turn. So the negating effect is every single card on the field. Your side of the field gets affected too, so it's a bit hard to use this card. This is an homage to Thor using his lightning and how the lightning immobilizes people. I think the effect is pretty strong because like you can negate any monster. That's pretty good, and it has a decent stat of 2500. Next card, we have Avengers Bruce Banner. This card is a wind type. There's not much reason for it besides it's green and it's level 3. This card's effect is release this monster. This turn all Hulk monsters special summon cannot be negated and your opponents cannot activate effects when Hulk monster is special summoned. 2. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by the cost of the first effect, you can special summon 1 Hulk from your deck or graveyard. So this has sort of a complicated effect But basically what it does is by releasing Bruce Banner from the field, you can special summon Hulk. I made it a bit complicated because I wanted the second effect to be a graveyard effect so that it is immune to things like Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence. Its effect is also not once per turn, so if you are able to summon multiple Bruce Banner, you can summon a lot of Hulks as well. So you can make Bruce Banner angry to Hulk. That's the general consensus of this card. There's not much more else, so I'll go into Hulk. So Hulk is level 5 effect monster. It isn't an extra deck card, so you need to put it in your main deck. The effect is that it can't be normal summon and only can be special summoned by the effect of an Avengers monster. This card's second effect can only be used once per turn. Now, number 1, when this card is special summoned, destroy all non-Avengers monsters on your side of the field. So this is a demerit effect. And the second effect is destroy one monster on the field, and at the end phase, we have to destroy one card on your side of the field. That is also another demerit effect, and obviously this is just Hulk going berserk. That is the base consensus of this card. It's going berserk, so it destroys other cards, but it destroys your card as well. However, there is a way to go around it, and that is Thor Odin's son. His effect is to negate every card's effect until the end phase, so you can escape this demerit effect. You can also use the demerit effect to your advantage, because there's like a whole lot of cards that you can just destroy and just instantly gives you +1. Okay, so the next card is Avengers Black Widow. Earth type level 4 monster. It has 2 effects, but you can only use either one of them. When you normal or special summon this card, special summon one Avengers monster from your hand. And number 2, you can special summon this card from your hand if you have an Avengers monster on your side of the field. So it is a development card. I don't know what you call it in English, but it's essentially a card that allows you to get more monsters out on the field. This is pretty much an homage to how Black Widow is the vice captain of the team, so she helps get others onto the field, I guess. This card is pretty crucial to this deck because this deck doesn't have much ways of special summoning monsters, although it doesn't allow you to get any advantage. So yeah, it's not too good and it's not too bad, I think. Yeah, so next card, Avengers Hawkeye. This is a level 3 tuner monster, so this is the base card which allows you to get Thor out onto the field. Now, its effect is when you normal or special summon this card, set one Avenger magic or trap card onto your deck. So this card is an homage to how, well, I have a feeling that he like sets traps and adapts to every situation. So the setting magic trap card is how he can set up traps and adapt to any situation. By the way, the stats is 1/400 and 1/200. It is the opposite of Black Widow. Also, I forgot to mention, but Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, they have opposing stats as well because they're Science Bros. That is the original Six Avengers. I will now get into some side characters that I created. Number 1, Agent Coulson. I just love this guy. It was, let me just side talk a bit. Oh my god, it was so sad that, like, spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know spoilers for Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., please just skip to this time. I haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 5 yet because it's not out in Japan, but I saw that he dies in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that's just really sad for me. Like, I wanted Agent Coulson to come out in Endgame, but he's dead, so yeah. Anyways, okay, so back to what Agent Coulson is. His stats is level 1, which is actually really good because level 1 has a lot of support cards. Its effect is that when this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add one Avengers monster to your hand, which is a really good effect. I originally was going to make this just sent to the graveyard, not specifically by a card effect, but then I realized that, like, that would be really strong because, for example, you special summon Isolde and then you can just send one equipped spell card to your graveyard and then special summon Agent Coulson, and then you can just make it Link Karibo, and then voila, basically search out 2 monsters, special summon Link Karibo by just putting out Isolde, which I thought was just way too powerful, and I didn't want Agent Coulson to be the main catalyst of this deck as he is a side character, so I turned him down a bit. and made it by card effect. This effect is obviously an homage to how he brought the Avengers together through his death. So that is Agent Coulson. And next up we have a rank for Xyz monster, Director Fury. This is Earth type as well. Its restriction is level 4 warrior monsters. It doesn't have to be an Avengers monster. And its effect is once per turn remove one Xyz material to special summon one level 4 lower Avengers monster from your deck and have its effect negated. So its effect is pretty similar to Captain America, as he is also the director of the team. But I've made them a little different, as this card has to be brought out from the extra deck. And also, it doesn't have any limitations what you can do after, like Captain America, but the monster brought out its effect is negated, so you can't use Black Widow or Hawkeye's effect. However, you can use Bruce Banner's effect, as when you release it, it's in the graveyard, so the negated effect isn't there anymore by the time you use the effect. Its stats is 1-200 and 1-700. I don't have any reason for that. I thought his death should be higher because of how he is in the team. So he can recruit a card. He was the one who recruited everyone, so yeah, it makes sense that he can recruit a card. Next up, we have the supporting cards. The first card is the First Avenger. All support cards will have Avengers on it. This one's Avenger. First Avenger, this has two effects. The first effect being that when you activate this card, you can send one Avengers monster from your deck to the graveyard. And its second effect is that you can remove this card from the graveyard and then add one Avengers monster from the graveyard to your hand. This is an homage to Captain America when he went into the ice. Going to the graveyard is the part where he's going ice, and then coming back is the adding to your hand part. I made a limitation that this effect cannot be activated the turn this card is sent to graveyard because there's a 40-year gap, so there has to be a time gap. Another reason is just it will be way too strong if it has had both of those effects. The main use as of right now would be to put Coulson into the graveyard so you can just search out a card, which is pretty powerful. And the next card is also a generic search card, Avengers Assemble. This is just a generic search card. Anything with a generic search card is really powerful because the amount that you can get the key card to your hand increases significantly, and so I've put limitations to it. Firstly, you can only activate it once per turn, and second, you can only special summon Avengers monster from your extra deck. So if you use this card, you can only go to pretty much Bruce Banner or Thor, or maybe Iron Man as well. It's just Avengers assembling, so yeah, it's searching out the Avengers card. The next card is Avengers Initiative. This card can only be activated if an Avengers monster is destroyed by a battle effect. Choose one of the following effects to activate it. The first one is to reborn a monster from your graveyard, and the second one is to recruit a level 4 lower Avengers monster from your deck. And yeah, that's about it for this deck. Now I would just like to go through the general flow of this deck. This deck has a lot of search engines. First Avenger and Avengers Assemble, they are pretty much search card if you have Coulson, as this deck is a warrior monster deck. You also have Rhoda, and any card that can send any card to the graveyard becomes a search engine as well because of Coulson. So you have tons of search options. And then the main card you're gonna search is Captain America, as that's the main catalyst of this deck. And then you're gonna summon Hawkeye or Black Widow. So if you go with Hawkeye, you're gonna set a card. This can be anything. So if you already use First Avenger, you can't use that card, so I would go with Avengers Assemble. Then you would probably go to Avengers Initiative, which allows you to survive more for the next turn. But in all honesty, I wouldn't put Avengers Initiative in my deck and then go to Thor Odinson. If you special summon Black Widow, I think then you can summon things like Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, or maybe even Hawkeye. One field you could have is Captain America, Black Widow, and Tony Stark. And then you make Tony Stark a Link 1 monster, and then you special summon a rank 4 monster. If it's from this archetype, it would be Director Fury, which would mean that it would summon Bruce Banner, so you would have a Hulk and Tony Stark on the field. I don't think that's actually that strong, but who knows. So there aren't much options of what you can do as of right now. There's only really 3 end cards. Iron Man, Thor, and Bruce Banner. And Iron Man isn't really an end card, it's usually a middle point, which doesn't have a end point right now. So I wouldn't suggest using Iron Man as of this point. The only real practical application I would say is to make it a generic link 2 monster like Isolde and then get more cards. But as of right now, getting more cards isn't that helpful using this deck because you have so many ways to just get cards. Doesn't have ways of summoning those cards that you get more of, because the only card that can be special summoned from your deck are cards like Black Widow and Tony Stark. Tony Stark's a level 3, so you can't do much besides linking at this point. But I do think that Thor and Bruce Banner, they're actually good cards, because any cards that just can negate a card or destroy a card at spell speed 2 is pretty good. So I think it has a solid board state, and you can get to that board state really well because you have so much search options. The starting cards of this deck are pretty much Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye. If you normal summon Hawkeye, you can search out Black Widow and then special summon her, which allows you to go to the link 7, which is Thor. If you start out with Black Widow, you can special summon Hawkeye or anything in general. And then, so if it's Bruce Banner, you can go to Hulk. If it's Tony Stark, you can go to Iron Man, and then maybe go to link 2 or link 3. If it's Captain America, you wouldn't do that, by the way. You wouldn't special summon Captain America with Black Widow. That's just pointless. You would normal summon Captain America, then summon something, and then special summon Black Widow with her own effect. By the way, Black Widow can special summon Hulk from the hand. Hulk becomes a dead card in your hand. Bruce Banner can only special summon from the graveyard or deck. But the way to go around this is Black Widow, and this isn't obviously an homage to their relationship. So yeah, those were the base consensus of this deck as of right now. I think it's an ordinary archetype as of right now, but it has a lot of search options, so the consistency of this deck is really high. And you can just use generic rank 4 monsters, get monsters out with Fury, which are at least allows you to get a Hulk, which is pretty good on its own. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be creating another video about an actual deck which would have this archetype, and this actual deck will not just consist of Avengers monsters, because I don't think that this deck is on its own very good at the moment, and it would need other archetypes to support itself to make a proper deck. And also, I won't be using every card in this deck because I think some cards are useless right now. Yeah, so thank you for listening. I usually create videos based around video essays and tribute videos, so if you're interested, please check it out. I will be posting the deck video next week, so if you're interested, please subscribe. What did you think of this custom archetype? Please comment down below. If you like this video, please like it, share it, and thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.